So today what I would do is I would like to present in front of you a medical device and product design, both concepts mixed together. How does it get evolved and what are all the steps which undergo in it? So for this presentation, my student Siddhant made the presentation. His contribution in this field is very high. So I should first acknowledge him and thank him before starting my presentation. The three devices which is showed in front of you, all the three devices are medical devices. One is a proctoscope, so which is used for surgery at the anal part, and then this is used for dental surgery, which if somebody is affected by cancer, so how do we open and close their jaws such that the dentist can do all his operation. The third one is a product called D-scope, which is used for vaginal examination. Okay, so some of my medical terminologies will be slightly poor, so kindly bear with me. But as a normal common man, whatever understanding you want to have, I will be able to express to you. Medical terminologies, kindly bear with me. And I would also request all the participants, the first presentation, I will try to have it for 45 minutes so that at the end of 45 minutes, you can ask all the questions. And in the meantime, while the journey of presentation is going on, I would request you to keep posting questions in the chat box. As soon as the presentation is over, I would like to take all those questions. Okay, so the content of the presentation goes like this. I have made it part A and part B. So part A is following design thinking. Design thinking is a very, very powerful tool which is used by many of the innovators, many of the corporate world to develop devices. Okay, so design thinking is a very, very powerful tool. And we, IIT Kanpur, along with the KGMU, we have come up with a new program which is called as Bio-Immersion Program. In the Bio-Immersion Program, what we do is we will try to pick 15 people, IIT Kanpur graduates who are all interested in biomedical product development. We pick them. We give them the option, we conduct an interview, we pick the top 15. And then what we do is we take those 15 people, go to KGMU, ask them to spend almost 15 to 20 days with the doctors. So what we do is we have a structured program. We divide it into 6-7 departments, and the students, along with some medical students, medical college students, we move from department to department to department. And what we ask the students is note down all those problems which you see is going on in the particular situation. So every day end, all these students come up with 150 to 200 problems. Some are genuine, some are not genuine, some are solvable, some are not solvable. So they write down all the problems. And every day evening, the group, which has moved like 3 departments, they come back, consolidate and give their 150 problems. And then what they do is they try to talk with their mentors also. The mentors will be the doctors who are trying to help them, not the medical college student, but the doctors, the faculty member doctors. They will try to mentor, nurture, and then they try to pick up 3-4 problems and then start solving it. So this approach is completely a design thinking approach. So let us look into the tool of design thinking. And evolving healthcare needs today in India, stakeholders in medical product development, role of design thinking, what creates a product, design thinking in healthcare, and the features of design thinking, applied design thinking, and the steps of design thinking. So this will be the first 45 minutes presentation. So let me go ahead on it. So when we talk about healthcare needs, today there is a big demand for healthcare products. And healthcare products, we are looking for economical and sustainable healthcare solutions for problems. So here in healthcare industry, you see there are 4 people. One is patient, physician, provider, and investigator. So there are 4 people in the healthcare segment. Okay, all these 4 people, they try to work on it. Let me put you an interesting way of looking into it. We all think the patient is the customer. Correct? Patient is the customer. Let us take a situation where I have a son, or I have two sons in fact. So one of my son falls sick. The doctor, when he starts attending to the patient, my son who's a patient here, now the customer is the patient, right? So now doctor has to take care completely about the patient's requirements. But my son is not the sponsorer for this operation. So now the sponsorer for this operation is me. So now I dictate what is the money I can pay for my son. Suppose you try to take the customer as a patient alone and trying to solve his problems and making him as comfortable as possible will naturally make the sponsorer heavily loaded. For example, financially it will be heavily loading on me. And I am sponsorer, my son is the customer. Now let me introduce another customer segment. Who is influencer? Who is the influencer here? My wife is the influencer, right? My wife is the influencer on the entire product, whatever we get developed. And my friends and my relatives, who are they? They are all recommenders. They are all recommenders. For example, they'll say, please go to this doctor, please go to that hospital, please go to this school, please go to that hotel. So these are all the recommenders. Okay, so you see, when we start solving a healthcare problem, we should not only look at the patient, we should not only look at the physician, we should not only look at the investors, we should not only look at the providers, we should look at a combination of all these people, look at the problem statement and give weightages for all of them to start solving it. If I look at a pathology lab, there is an investor who comes and says, okay, I invest 5 crores. And what is he interested? He is interested to make the 5 crores into 6 crores by end of the year. That is what is look out. He is least bothered whether the patient is happy, doctor is happy, this is happy, that is happy. That's all it is. As far as patient is concerned, he would like to have a treatment with somebody who gives a proper care and who gives an assurance that the problem will be solved. Okay, so physicians are those people who are involved in this business who execute whatever is required for the patient. So finally, what is the aim for this entire exercise is you have to have satisfaction, you have to have as minimum cost as possible, and you should have better outcomes. The stakeholder in medical industry is going to be regulatory bodies, caregivers, administrators, and consumers. Let us look at the role of an administrator. Administrator, for example, in SGPGI, let us assume the doctors decide to buy, the dean or the director comes and says, okay, I have 1 crore money left before March 30th, please spend this money. And there are 20 departments. These 20 departments, the director calls everybody and says, please try to spend 1 crore within the next 10 days. So now what he will say is, everybody please make a presentation. And based on the presentation, let me look at the vital one and then I will give the money to that department. Okay, so now immaterial of the vitality, whatever is the decision taken by the administrator, that plays a very important role in the product or in the development of a medical product. So I have shown here, these are all for a healthcare industry who are all there. These are the people who are there for medical product development. The stakeholders are going to be regulators, consumers, caregivers, and administrators. Caregivers are doctors or nurse or whoever it is. Regulators are those people who are trying to give certification. Consumers are ordinary patients and people. The role of design thinking in medical technology is it shapes the evolution. It also tries to give products to solutions. It meets the need of all the stakeholders. Complexity to simplicity, it tries to convert. Makes a complex problem into a simple problem and then tries to solve the simple problem. And then makes the technology invisible. So these are the roles of design thinking in medical technology. What creates a product? There are two things which are very important. What creates a product? One is human needs. The another one is technical solutions. Human needs are nothing but what need to be done for people is human need. Technical solution is pursue solution is technical solution. A common to these two areas is where a product design space is available. What can technology do for people is the product development phase. Today, you are all doctors. The technology has become off-the-shelf item. So now, if you start collaborating with the technical expert, there is an overlap between both the doctor and the engineer or whoever it is. And then what you have is you have a product space in between. In this product space, there will be both a combination of human needs and technological solutions. Here are some of the design thinking examples in healthcare industry. The livestock is a water filter designed to be used. This is a livestock. So initially what happened in underdeveloped countries or third world countries, they used to suffer from a lot of waterborne diseases, and water was a scarcity for them. This is what is the water they drink, because they don't have water to drink. So they have to travel 5 kilometers, 8 kilometers, 10 kilometers and do. Majority of the work was done by only a women. So the women used to carry in a pot of water for several kilometers, and then they go to the destination. When they do that, it always demands on them that they should take a water bottle to the workplace space and other things. But rather than that, they were thinking of, why don't we evolve a filter like a cigarette, where in which this filter filters whatever best it could do and make the water portable, but not 100%. ठीक है, कुछ 80-90% तक करेंगे, so उतना ही करेंगे, so it will be done. So now, if you look into it, they did an empathy study. Until and unless I drink this water, I will not have a feel for the people who are suffering from this, suffering by drinking this water. So what I'm trying to say is, if you are trying to develop a product, so you become a customer for the product first and start undergoing the plight. What if this product is not there? How will be the life? For example, today, what if a smartphone is not there? Let us live for 15 days without a smartphone and then realize what all smartphone can do. And we will all start praising and protecting the smartphone very nicely. Okay, so that is empathy study. So you drink the water and then you undergo the pain, whatever it is. And then what you do is you start developing output products for them. Okay, livestock is a water filter designed to be used for one person to filter water for drinking, and this filter can withstand 1,000 liters of water. Okay, so this 1,000 liters, where did they come up with this beautiful number? This will be the annual consumption of water per person. What it can remove is, it cannot remove all the things, but it can remove waterborne bacteria and it can remove few of the parasites, so that it makes the water potable. So this product completely followed design thinking approach. This is the other product. Artificial limb was developed. So they made a bionic boot. So this bionic boot is given to a physically disabled person who has artificial limbs. So it is given to him. So they did the entire exercise. Here, when the product was developed, they also realized that rather than only using for an aid for walking, if it also could reduce the energy while walking, then it will also be good. So that is why they came up with the spring load. So now with the spring load, what happens is you can start storing energy and releasing energy, which will try to give them a boost while walking. This is the other thing where neonatal temperature monitoring device. So this is quite common in north part of India and wherever it is a cold climate. Many of the babies many or few of the babies who are born during peak winter season, they die because of cold fever. Cold fever is the temperature falls below 98.4. And if you look at all the thermometers, they are all starting from 91, 92 or whatever it is, or 95. And then it goes on to 107, 108. Fever, when we say, we always realize that the fever is only hot, but there is also a cold fever. So none of the thermometers which are available, majority of them, cannot measure the cold fever. So here is a device which was developed by a startup in India. So they developed a device wherein which it will be attached to the baby, and it will be tied to the wrist. It will be like a wristwatch, and this temperature measuring device will run for continuously. You can't stop it. It will run continuously for so many hours, and then finally what will happen is when the temperature falls below a certain degrees, then immediately it starts beeping. There will be a signal to blow, and there will also be a sound which is generated. So this will give the paramedic to give a realization that the baby's temperature is falling down. So here, this is a design thinking approach they followed, and then they did. When we say desert, we all remember only one thing: hot desert. But in reality, in US, there are also cold deserts. So until and unless you go to those places, you realize what is the plight they undergo, you cannot develop products for them. So this is again a design thinking approach which is used in healthcare for developing devices. The next one is combination of neonatal with neonatal hypothermia with embraced innovation, affordable and portable baby warmers. So this is a baby warmer which was developed. So generally, when the temperature goes below certain degrees Celsius, the baby freezes and the brain gets dead first. And what I was told by doctors are the baby becomes a vegetable for rest of its life. So so here this is only to make sure that they get the warming which is done. But the other thing is you have measured the temperature through the wristwatch. Now the baby has to be given warmth. So these are the devices which are available. Now what has happened is there was a guy who came from Stanford and who was part of Stanford bio design program which is held at AIIMS. So they came up with a wonderful design wherein which they made a cotton cloth which is wrapped in a particular pattern around the baby, gives them the warmth. And this is a frugal solution which was given by them. So what are all the features of design thinking? It finds simplicity in complexity. So it tries to convert a complex solution into a simple solution. It gives beautiful and aesthetic appeal also is part of the solution you can generate. It improves the clients and the end users' quality of experience. Creating innovative, feasible, and viable solutions to real world problem is one of the feature of design thinking. Addressing the actual requirements of end user is the other thing. So if you look into it, the features of design thinking is find simplicity, appealing products, innovative solutions, client experience, and then user requirements. Design thinking approach is not analytical, is not intuitive. It is a combination of these two. When we talk about analytical thinking process, it is deductive reasoning and it is inductive logical reason. It gives these two. So this is the design thinking approach. So here we use the abductive logics. Design thinking makes use of both the extremes in an optimum manner. The intuitive thinking helps in innovation for the product, whereas analytical thinking to create something creative in the present, which is replicable. So when we try to solve the problem, it tries to solve business problem, information problem, education problem, healthcare problem. All these things use these techniques. So these are the 5 steps which are involved in design thinking. The first step which is involved is going to be empathy study. Empathy study is to develop a deeper understanding of the problem. Deeper understanding of the problem. Sorry, it has jumped. I'm sorry. So it has a deeper understanding of the problem is empathy study. So empathy study is, for a blind man, how will he play a Rubik cube? So you can't say that a blind man cannot play a Rubik cube, because he also has a thought process. He does not have eyes, but all the other senses are there. Suppose he wants to have that fun. How will you do it? So how will you do it? You will have to develop a product for them. How will you develop a product for them? Until and unless you blind your eyes and play the Rubik cube and realize that the color is one thing which they don't know or they cannot have a feel. So then you can only think of what are the other things which we can integrate with the Rubik cube, such that the Rubik cube concept can be used by them for playing. So empathy study is to have a deeper understanding. In healthcare industry, when we develop a product, a doctor has a thorough understanding about the problem, whereas an engineer does not have the understanding of the problem very much. So what we do is we expect all the engineers or the students or the entrepreneurs or the startup enthusiasts, all of them to undergo an empathy study. See, one of my friend was developing a business model for cleaning cars. So the model is that he will get 500 rupees from a person, and he will try to clean the car 2 times a week, and he will try to do in the complete society. Then what he did is he went to that colony, stayed with them for 15 days, talked to people, and understood that cleaning car is very difficult. And then he picked up all aged-old people. So when he developed a business model, he said, my model is valid only for people above 50, he said. So he has a deeper understanding of the problem. He has now made his business model accordingly. So empathy study is nothing but have a deeper understanding of the problem. Then you have to define what is the problem. For example, if you go back and remember the dirty water problem, I said the livestock developed a filter which can filter maximum 1,000 liters of water. And why did they say 1,000 liters of water? Because the cost what they offered is okay for, if you divide it by a year, they feel comfortable for paying for it. And for in a year, what do they need is 1,000 liters. And when we start working in this problem, we also have to make sure the filter cannot be few kilos weight. And the filter also has to have a freedom when the suction happens, the water has to move. And at some point of time when it is completely clogged, the filter also gives a provision of removing, cleaning, and then placing it. So now you look at it. Since I had a thorough understanding of the problem, I am able to define what is the problem statement. Definition of the problem statement is the difficult task. If you ask me, Ram, what is your plan for the next 10 years? Then I will quickly say, see, in the next 10 years, I would like to become Prime Minister Modi. Yeah, what not? It's a possible thing, but you should. That is a very vague statement, because Prime Minister Modi is now. After 5 years, he will not be the Prime Minister. So in my definition, if I say very clearly that, Ram, I would like to become the Prime Minister of this country in the next 5 years, going through Rajya Sabha route. So now you see, I have clearly defined my path. And now what I have to do is, I have to only make sure that I don't have to meet public. I will only have to meet politicians and get the blessings of politicians such that I get a Rajya Sabha seat and become the Prime Minister. So if I just say I would like to become Modi today is the Prime Minister, Modi might leave. Tomorrow, if I say Prime Minister and stop there, then there is a possibility that I can go through Lok Sabha, I can go through Rajya Sabha. And once I say, if I go through Lok Sabha, then the strategy is I should start working for the people right now, such that before the next election, I get a seat. So this is the definition of the problem. The definition of the problem clearly articulates the problem you want to solve. The next thing is you start ideating. From the definition of the problem, you try to develop at least 100 ideas. For the same definition, at least 100 ideas. And at this stage, you are not supposed to evaluate any idea as good or bad. Moment you start evaluating an idea is good or bad, then many of the ideas get killed at the ideation stage itself. You do a lot of brainstorming sessions. The basic principle of brainstorming is not to evaluate any other person's idea, but to capture as many ideas as possible. Now you have 100 ideas. In that 100 ideas, there might be only 20 ideas which are feasible. Out of these 20 ideas, there are only 10 ideas in which you can even make prototypes. Start making prototypes. And while start making prototypes, this 10 will go down to 3. And now what will happen is, you have 3 different ideas. Now go to the market, go to the customer, go to the doctor and test your idea. And when you test your idea, what happens? It engages in continuous short cycle innovation process to continually improve your design. And what happens in this testing phase is you try to test with the customers. And after you test with the customers, what happens? Then you realize the cycle, whatever you did, was no way valid or is no way leading to a better solution, is not a correct way of doing it. Then you get a better understanding of the problem, and then you go back and try to do once again the empathy study. First, maybe you would have done 0 to 100. Now what will happen is you will realize no point in working from 0 to 100. Let's start working from 50 to 70 alone. Now, in the next stage of empathy study, you start focusing your customers and you start doing an empathetical study once again for people who fall in the range of 50 to 70. This can be weight, this can be age, this can be whatever it is, 50 to 70. And now what will happen? You will redefine the problem for a fixed domain. You will redefine the problem, develop ideas, and then you will develop prototypes and do testing. And then what happens? You will realize in this 50 to 70 itself, no point in working from 50 to 70. Let us work from 52 to 54. Now what has happened? You have narrowed down your spectrum, and once again you do an empathy study and then do it. This iteration, if you do it 3-4 times, you are sure that you will develop a product which goes to the market shortly. This is not a linear solution. It is a linear process. It is a non-linear process. In non-linear process, back and forth iteration happens at regular intervals of time. So when you are started working on innovation, so you should look at a team. So the entire team should start working on developing products. So here, let us see some few case studies. The few case studies, what we are seeing is, so body warmer, which I have already said, designed by IIT graduate Rahul Panikkar under the entrepreneurship design for extramural affordable program at Stanford Biodesign. So he developed this problem. He developed a solution which can be used by a low-cost solution could be done, and this tries to take care of many babies which are done delivery at home in rural villages of Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Chhattisgarh, Assam, and then it is also in Meghalaya. So this is an empathy study. Empathy study is basically you have supposed to do interview with the stakeholders, create an empathy based on conversational and observation. So you say, you do, you feel, and you think. So all these things are there. In empathy study, you have to make it as close as possible. So when we do that, we interview the mother, we interview the doctor, we interview the paramedic, we interview the relatives, and then understand what exactly is the problem. Interviewing the customer, the team asks to be taken outside the city to see how premature infants were cared in rural villages. The overwhelming majority of all the premature infants were born in the rural village areas. Most of the infants would never make it to the hospital. Even before they make it to the hospital, they lose their life. In Uttar Pradesh, I was told by statistics that in a day there are close to 150 babies who lose their life even before reaching their hospital, and these babies are from the age group of 0, that means to say newborn, to 6 months. And many of the ambulance, whatever is there, they have oxygen cylinders, but the oxygen is not available there. Or there are oxygen cylinders, oxygen is there, but the ambulance driver or the support person does not know how to give this to a newborn baby. Okay, so each year 20 million premature and low weight babies are born in India. If you look at it, it's a huge market. 20 billion. So let us assume in Uttar Pradesh alone, because we are highly populated state, 2 billion premature and low birth weight babies are born. Out of this 2 million, let us assume 10% of them, if you can develop a device for only 10% of them, that itself is a huge market. Okay, in developing countries, the mortality rate of these infants is particularly high because incubators are extremely rare. New incubators are extremely expensive, and donated incubators are confusing to operate and are difficult to maintain and repair. So this is stage 1. So until and unless you do all this empathy study, you will not realize what is it. Let me tell you another interesting thing which is talked about. The other interesting thing is many a times what happens, we all feel that the vein detector. The vein detector is a very, very useful and a powerful device which is going to give you a thought that you can start working on developing a product. See, there are many vein detectors. What is happening is they are extremely very good vein detectors. These vein detectors are used by doctors or by paramedics for doing for detecting the vein or giving some injection or whatever it is. Many a times this work is done by doctors. Sometimes it is done by the paramedic also. If you develop this device and give it to the doctor and say, sir, buy this device. So if you say that doctor that the paramedics can be replaced, your contingency grant can be improved, or you can reduce the contingency expenses. The doctor quickly will say no, because the paramedic does not only do that vein detection and pricking the needle, he or she does so many other operations where doctor needs a helping hand. So because of this one reason, vein detector, whatever got developed in the recent past in India, they are not reaching out to the market. The same way with the wireless stethoscope. So that is also having a similar problem, because the signal, whatever is getting generated, is so weak. And when we try to amplify the signal, the noise also gets amplified. Okay, so until and unless you do this empathy study, you will not realize. Until and unless you do this empathy study, you will not even realize. See, now what has happened, a lot of people here in our IIT campus, especially spouse of the age of 40 to 50 or 40 to 55, they all undergo a depression cycle. So in the reason for the depression cycle, you can say middle age crisis, this and that and all. So invariably, majority of them suffer from thyroid problem. Next thing is they all have deficiency in vitamin D. Once you have a deficiency in vitamin D, naturally the byproducts are going to be vitamin C and vitamin B. So if D is down, B and C will also be slowly down. So now if you look at it, all these things are getting linked. And the depression is because of hormonal imbalance. So until and unless you realize this in totality and you see the problem, otherwise what happens is the doctor refers the case to psychiatrist takes over, and then he starts giving medication without it. So empathy study is very, very important. Now in the next stage is you have to, the definition stage, you have to amplify the good, eliminate the bad, explore the opposite, question the assumptions, identify the unexpected resources, create an analogy, break the problem into pieces. All these things you have to do in step 2, stage 2. How might we do all these things? Then after doing all these things, you coherently develop a single statement. Design a better incubator for the developing world with extremely affordability. Okay, I don't talk about the dollar, wallet, nothing, extreme affordability. So I keep the problem open. But when you slowly start working on it, then you start looking at what is affordability, affordability in terms of finance. So what is in terms of finance, they will say, and then they are start going. So framing the right problem is the only way to create a right solution. Next is ideation. In ideation stage, I have already told you, design thinkers is supposed to bring in to the table as many ideas as possible. So then what we do is these ideas, whatever come, we do cluster analysis or we do mind mapping. Mind mapping is a diagram that helps to observe and study information in a visual manner. So we start putting all the ideas, cluster them into some headings, and then we try to map the ideas. Then what we do is we start developing prototypes. There are 4 different types of prototypes. One is called as functional prototype. Next one is called as look-like prototype. The third one is called as alpha prototype. The fourth one is called as beta prototype. So the first one, functional prototype, is even before functional prototype, what we do is we try to make completely out of dummy gimme, and then we start showing it. This is how it looks like. Then what do we do is we start making a functional prototype. Then the first one, you can also say that form prototype or look like prototype, form prototype. Then we try to do a functional prototype, or this can go up and front, whatever it is, or parallelly it can move. Once you do that, then we start doing it with the alpha prototype. So you can see here the design looks like something like a sleeping bag. It is wrapped around a premature infant. A pouch of phase change material is kept in the body. So this phase change, for every 4 hours, the PCM pouch should be recharged by submerging it into boiled water for a few minutes. Then it gets charged, and then you try to get it. So this is a alpha prototype they develop. Then what they do is several testings are happening, and then you try to do a test. So these are some of the testing phases. So they have taken majority of the idea will be cut and paste idea across different streams. So so it is far more intuitive to use. Intuitive to use this kangaroo approach. So now let us look into these are some of the clinical immersions. Okay, this is what we said. And so following the product design model, you do a clinical immersion, that is empathy study. Then will be problem definition, concept feasibility, detailed design, engineering analysis, rapid prototyping, pilot production, clinical trials, and technology transfers. These are all the clinical immersion trials which our students also did. So we try to do all these things in the lab. Then we try to do a problem definition. This is the thing matrix we do: quality function deployment, customer requirement, technical priorities, relationship matrix, competitive evaluation, design parameters, interdependency between the design parameters, and then you will have technical priorities. And then what we do is we try to develop a problem. So next is concept and feasibility. We try to do a sketching, 3D model, visualization, animation. And then what we do is we try to develop problems, solutions. We have divergence, we have convergence. So these are all design thinking approach. These are all several solutions are there. So we try to see convergence. We also try to see divergence. We try to put the hat and then get it done. So detailed design, again, CAD is exhaustively used. There decides the specification for electronics. Visualize how different parts are being derived. Select the material and give a feedback. So these are all the detailed designing, wherein which dimensions are measured, tolerances are given for manufacturing. These are CAD models which are developed. Engineering analysis is finite element analysis we try to do on the products. So we try to find out where are all the stressed points for fluid to flow, for heat to flow, and other things. So we try to do, and then we try to get it. These are all some of the rapid prototyped parts. These are all inserts which have been made, knee inserts which have been made. So we start trying to develop these things by rapid prototyping, or we can try to do it by molding, or we try to do it with metal to metal prototyping and all other things. So these are prototyping. Besides the prototyping material, it can be rigid, flexible, transparent. You can have 3D printed space. You can have accuracy, finishing, fabrication of parts like removing support structures. So many things are there. These are all done in step 6. And this is what is a pilot which is developed. So this is what is a CAD model. This is what is a RP model. And this is what is a final prosthesis which is made. So this is the CAD, what we drew, and what we developed by using CAD model is this. And finally, the prosthesis, whatever is done is that. Then we try to do our clinical trials, get the details, and we try to establish classifications. And finally, what we do is we try to do a technology transfer, wherein which our IP document plays a very, very important role. So in India, the regulatory body are CDSCO, which you are very much aware, and CDSCO gives the clearance for a product to get into the market. So when we look at Class A, Class B, Class C, Class D approach, so you have this is what is Class A, Class B. You can see Class C and Class D. Class A, how long should you expect for waiting? Class A is 9 to 12 months until approval is granted. Validation, it does not expire when we do Class D, Class C and all. Then the renewal should be started this far in advance, so not acceptable for any of those things. So these are some of the basic principles for innovation. And these are the user needs, design inputs, design process, design output, and medical device development. With that, I complete my first lecture. So I would be happy to take if there are any questions at this point of time. So the approach is going to be this, and this is the approach which you can use for converting your thought process into a final prototype. So you have to make form, then functional, then alpha prototype. In alpha prototype, we try to do no testing on the person, but without in cadaver or something you can do. And then you also try to do risk management analysis and try to give out at the alpha prototype. Then it goes to beta prototype. Beta prototype is made, and then it goes and gets tested on human beings. So if there are questions, I'll be happy to take.
So for us, it's okay to go up to the ideate stage, but for the prototype, I mean, we need some technical support. So
we are there, sir. I will tell you, doctor, is like we are now running at IIT Kanpur something called as a MedTech center. Our job is to find out a good idea. If there is a very good idea, so then we help in CAD, then we help them in analysis. Then we also help them in alpha prototype. We have recently purchased a metal printer, so that will help us in making even beta prototypes. Our center, we are pushing hard to get ISO 13485. So then whatever we produce can directly be used for testing in human beings. Yeah, so that is why we, and for doing any of these innovations, a doctor alone cannot do it.
So if you could just give a link for us to contact, I mean, that would be very nice.
So okay. So if you could, I will share the link with, or you can do MedTech IIT Kanpur. I will share it. I will share it with Ashish, Dr. Ashish, Professor Ashish, and you can take it from him, or you can directly search for MedTech, MEDTECH. MEDTECH.ac.in. You get to that site.
Thank you, Professor J. Ram Kumar, for this wonderful talk. And I would like to ask participants if they have any question, please ask them. You can keep them posting. And after this talk, so we move to the next talk. So before moving to the next talk, I would like to thank Professor Ram Kumar for giving us your valuable time.
No, sir, thank you. No, sir, I should only thank you. If I could convert in the audience at least 2 people like you, then we have done our job. I am only looking at the two sparking eyes. Because until and unless we do this, I should only thank you profusely because you have given this opportunity. And to all the doctors, see, any product you develop, it has to be a team.
Yeah, definitely.
Professor Ashish is an exception. Professor Ashish is an exception. So don't go by Professor Ashish. Yeah. So you have to have a team. Your team should have one engineer, one marketing guy, one finance understanding guy. So all these things put together, you start rolling. Today, the regulations have improved a lot. Within 1 to 2 years, you can try to hit at the market if your team is intact. If your team is not intact, you have to spend a lot of this thing. And today, the government of India, 5 medtech centers they have opened in India. One is IIT Kanpur, one they have at Hyderabad, one they have at Yedapura or something in Mangalore, one they have given in this thing, Aurangabad. They have given one at Aurangabad, and then one they have given at this thing where. One more they have given. So Medtech Bombay is also there. 5 places they have given. So you can approach any of those places. And for example, Medtech, since I am heading it right now, I will be happy to help you. And my humble request is come through Professor Ashish. So that then we know, okay, you are serious and sir also will be involved. So we will try to do better.
Okay, so definitely, there are so many participants who are having very novel and bright ideas, and some of them will definitely turn to you for developing the product and prototype. So we are really looking forward to coordinate with you regarding this.
Okay. Sir, then I will go for the next presentation. See, the next presentation is IP, intellectual property rights. So very, very basic, sir. So very basic is you are developing an idea. It is your baby. So you hold all the rights. Now to the world, how are you going to tell that you hold all the rights is through patent. So that patenting process is nothing but intellectual property rights. Okay. So in intellectual property rights, what we do is we always look for innovative solutions. There is a big difference between innovation and invention. Innovation is a brilliant idea where there is a customer to buy that idea is called as innovation. If there is an idea extremely good, extremely new, and which does not find an application, it is called as invention. So now when you are looking for intellectual property rights, we always look for innovative ideas. All the products which you develop, the science you are not going to change, but you are trying to customize the science through technology for one particular type of audience. You are trying to do it. So that is intellectual property right. Developing an idea, innovative idea, and holding the rights for that idea. Is it always good that I should go for patenting? It is left to individuals. For example, Pepsi, Coke, they don't do their IP because once you do an IP after 25 years or 60 years, depending upon the company, the country, the idea comes into public domain. So you hold the rights only for 25 years. So you should decide whether I will try to take this idea, freeze it. And it is also interesting, you can try to sell the IP, that is your patent, to 4 or 5 people. You can partially also give your idea. You can also say, I don't want to give this idea to him. That is also possible. So you are solely responsible for this entire product, and then you try to hold it. What is the difference between intellectual property right and publishing a paper? Publishing a paper, you are trying to tell to your peer group that you are having enough competence and you have a new understanding and you are trying to share the knowledge in public domain. So nobody gives money to it. But when you do an intellectual property right, a patent, people will be ready to give money provided it finds a customer. If you have an idea which is innovative, then we go for patenting. So the major types of IP is going to be functional and technical invention, then purely artistic invention, and a symbol, logo, word, sound, color, design is going to be trade. So if you have a functional and a technical innovation, we go for patents. There are design patents, process patents. Design patent is, okay, you made a red color pencil. Now you change the red color pencil into green color pencil, but make it a little longer and newer functionality is added. For example, 3-4 years back when my elder son was in school, he's still in school, but when he was in 7th standard or something like that, what he did was he used to always dig his mother's purse. In his mother's purse, he found out there are so many pencils, so many pens, so many decorative items, so many beautying items, beautying this thing, that thing were all there. So what he did was he asked, why are you carrying so much? Can't we integrate them into one? Then I asked him, what is that? He says, Kajal ka pencil, then lipstick. Then what he said was, he said something like a mirror or a puff. Can't all the thing be integrated into a single pen? Yes, it is an innovative product. I don't know whether it is available today, but he said, why don't we develop it? So it is a product which is innovative. So this is a product which is innovation. And if we want to change some small features of it, then it becomes a design patent. You can quickly get a design patent. Process patent takes its own time. So these are all given based upon the functional and technical interventions. Next is purely artistic. If you write a poetry, if you write a story, okay, if you play a music, A.R. Rahman's music, then Bappi Lahari's music, or somebody else's music, so it's all copyright. Okay, you can also get a copyright. For example, if you make a movie name, you make 20 movies, okay, 20 movie titles saying that ding dong democracy, crossy democracy. Then you say chikpuk, kuch hota hai was there. You can say kuch pota hai. So you can start doing all these things and you can start registering those names as film names and you can hold the copyrights. Because somebody tomorrow, if they are dearth of getting a movie name and if they go through it and if they find out you have a wonderful movie title, they just pay you and take that money out. So you have to invest time, you have to invest money in maintaining the copyrights. The third one is the trade, which is given for trademark is like Nike ka logo, Mac ka logo, they all fall under the trademarks. So patent products process, it is for 20 years, design is only for 10 years. So novelty in you have the inventiveness and an industrial application are covered here. When we talk about design, these are the design protection for a product. You have aesthetics and industrial use. Trademarks, these are all the different types of trademarks. Trade secrets, no registration required for trade secrets. Copyright, you hold the copyright, for example, software, movie for 60 years. So this is for copyrights. So when we look at different patents in different countries, so the type of patents in different countries, you have 4 different types of this thing. One is called as utility patent. The other one is called as patent patent. Then it is called as international patent. Then it is called as design patent. Okay, international patent we always call it as PCTs. And the utility patent, we call it as provisional, non-provisional, continual, CIP, and divisional. So the type of patents in different countries are going to be functional, design patent, utility patent, and plant patents. The type of patent application, it has to be complete. Patent of addition can also be there. You do some X today. Tomorrow you want to add X plus Y. So you can say X plus Y. Y independently cannot exist. So you can say X plus Y together. So divisional applications are there. Provisional patents are also given. Today I have an idea, but I am not able to demonstrate the product today. What I will do is I will go register my idea and then I'll say, please give me time, I will make it. This and at the end of 12 months, if you are not able to demonstrate, then this goes into public domain. You cannot patent this product in the near future. Provision is as soon as I got my idea I'm doing, or as soon as I have developed some product, I have not tested it, but I wanted to get a provisional patent, you can get it. It is valid only for 12 months, stroke 12 months. End of the 12 months, it goes away directly and then it goes out of your hands. So you can apply provisional patent, you can apply for full patent. Complete specifications are to be filed for a patent. So when you start writing a patent, different types of patent, patentability search is there. Then you have a freedom of approach, like your Google search, you have patent search. There are several websites with which you can start searching, and then you can start developing the patent documents. Sorry, there is a smudging. So these are all the sites which are available: www.ipiindianservices.com, www.patentgoogle.com, ups2gov.com. Then you have Thomson Invention. So many things are available. You can search and then get to see whether your product is available or not. Once you have done everything, then you can go ahead to write a patent. And normally a patent you can write, but the final vetting and defending will be done by a patenting attorney, or in front of the patenting attorney will be done by a patenting lawyer. So today patent lawyers are having a huge scope because of this. So when you write a patent, so first you have to write a disclosure, then you will have to file it online or offline today. Then what they do is once they get your application, they examine the application and then put the application in the public domain for 6 months and say, hey, Ram has claimed this. Is anybody else who wants to counterclaim or say that no, you have done it before, please give the justification or something. Once that is done, then what they do is they try to re-examine based upon the clarifications whatever they get, and then what they do is they try to identify and give you a payment. At that payment, what you have to do is you have to pay money. So there is patenting fee. Then there is something called as maintenance fee. Maintenance fee is annual fee for maintaining the patent. That also you have to pay. So this is how the Indian patenting looks like. You have to do a login, you have to have a password, this and that are there, and then you can start doing it. What are all the components of a patent? Like when you write a paper, in the similar way, you also write for a patent. So you will try to have title, you will try to have applicant details, then you will have preamble, field of invention, background, object, drawing, description, claims, and abstracts. So this is how it looks like in a layout, if you say put. So provisional application, PCT application, basic conventional application, and divisional application. So it is valid for 12 months. This is PCT valid for 31 months. And then conventional application is for 12 months. So complete application is done. And then Indian national face application is done. So this is done. Then we try to have a pre-grant opposition, and then publication we get. Then request for examination, first evaluation report, then they respond to the office, then they do compliance, and then they do compliance, and then they grant, and then publication, and then they get the annuity. So how much time required for granting an Indian patent? Typically it takes 4 years. It takes 4 years, and exceptional with expedited early publication, 30 months also you can try to get it. Exceptional cases you can get the final patent of 1 month. For example, during COVID, ventilators were developed, and these ventilators were given patents for 1 month. So it is exceptional cases they try to do. Foreign patents, PCT is valid up to 31 months, and for 137 countries you can do. It's pretty expensive. Direct foreign countries filling is up to 12 months. EP route is 12 to 26 months. So IIT Kanpur has been filing more than 460 patents till date. So we started in 2000 where 4 is there, and till 2018 we have gone up to somewhere 80 patents, 80 in the sense per year. Okay, 2017 and all we were 59 patents. Today we have crossed more than 200 patents a year. So this is a cumulative, this is an individual year-wise figure. So you cannot underestimate a patent. So Catherine Heitner, Catherine Heidenger developed a device which is patented. She patented it in 1993, and this is your this thing. This is your what is it? I forget. Fidget spinner device. Correct. Fidget spinner device. So it was patented in 1993. The patent was granted in 1997. The first production started in 2005. Okay, so pitch the spinner to toy to make her Hasbro. So once bitten, twice shy. Once bitten, twice shy. So this was the pattern we have. The patent get lost in 2005 and it was for $400. Today, the same thing, fidget spinner, is sold 19 million US dollars per year, and or 19 million devices sold per year, and the business is they are talking about is $90 billion as global toy industry alone. So so this is the underestimate of a patent. So then next we will see a infringement of the patent. So there was a Bajaj Pulsar was developed in India in 2001. A Taiwan company, what they made is they made the same product as Gulsar. Pulsar was made Gulsar in 2003 and it was sold in the market. It was done by a Taiwanese company and it was sold, the Taiwan made, and it was sold in Sri Lanka, and China. So then the Bajaj company filed a case with Sri Lankan High Court, stopped the sales of Gulsar in 2006 and sold to dealers in Sri Lanka in 2000. So this is what it is. And the relevancy of a trademark for startup is very, very important. The protection of a symbol, color, word, or a combination, logo, all these things has to be, a trademark has to be done. So it is stored in terms of multiples of 10 years. Priority protection in conventional countries are done. So trademark filed and published in 7 classes. So this is IIT Kanpur emblem. And this is only filed very recently. We did not do the trademark. So this is a trademark file logo. When the trademark file logo we have been working, we figured out that we had to fight literally for that logo. So what we did was so we literally fought for this logo because we did it only in 2010 or something. So we did not have this. So we had to fight in the court. And then we showed the photos of 1960, 61, saying that in those days itself, the IIT Kanpur logo was used. So then we got the logo granted to us. And it was the date of the prayer. Since from January 2018, we got this done. So then copyrights, these are for literary works, you try to get music, video, everything. What is patentable? What the idea should be novel, the idea should be non-obvious, the idea should be useful and legal. For example, if you develop a screwdriver, in the stem of the screwdriver, if at the tip of the screwdriver, if you can put a lamp, LED lamp, and then make the screwdriver energized with that LED lamp, then what happens is the screwdriver, when you try to work in dark areas, you will get the light through the screwdriver and then you start doing your operation. So the screwdriver is known, light is known, the bulb is known. So the product is novel and it has to be non-obvious for a person who regularly uses it. For example, a person who uses a bulb will know, torchlight will know the bulb, a person who uses a screwdriver will know the function of a screwdriver. So it is non-obvious and then it has to be useful. So this was a simple example, and once you have all the 3 points fulfilled, you will have a patent. What is not patentable? No one can obtain a patent on the laws of nature, scientific principles, even if he or she is the first to discover it. Which cannot be patented, ideas cannot be patented, laws of nature cannot be patented, scientific principles cannot be patented, and artistic creations cannot be patented. It is copyright. Mathematical model and business schemes cannot be done. This is what is the difference between patent and publication, which we were discussing. So now I have given in a very brief nutshell about patents. So if you are ready, then you can go ahead making a patent. And this is what is a lot of students who got patents from IIT Kanpur, we have just put them here. And these are some of the funding agencies who work. BIRAC is one thing which we work very closely. Uttar Pradesh State, we also work very closely with the government in developing products and prototypes. We also have Syndicate Bank. SIDBI has also given us grant. So these 4 are major sponsoring agencies for developing an idea and patented. So if you look at it furthermore, I can discuss more. The legislative framework of IP, the IP Act was given in 1790, then 2003 they did. Design Act was published in 2000, then in 2001 it was taught. Trademark in 1999. and the geographic indentation of goods in 1999 was given. So controller of examiner for the patent, they are patenting officer Kolkata, Delhi, Chennai and Mumbai. So the design office are there, everybody. Design office is at Kolkata. So you have patent office and then you have all the registry. So Delhi, Kolkata, Hyderabad and Ahmedabad also it is there. So GI registry is at Chennai. So these are some of the things which are related to the law. So safeguard the patent. I have told everything together. So if you are, what is an invention? So invention means a new product or a process involving an inventive step and a capable for industrial application. So the patentable subject matters, this is what it is, and I have related to all of those things. New means innovation must not be published in India or elsewhere. Prior public knowledge or prior public use within India claimed before in any specification in India should not be there. Then only you can ask for patent. So with that few words, I would like to complete my presentation. I have many slides, but I thought already I have taken 45-50 minutes there, another half an hour here. So now I will be looking forward for discussions. So I would be open for discussions. If there are questions in chat, I would like to see those things. If not, then I think no questions are placed in chat. So I would like to keep the audience open. You can unmute yourself and start asking questions.